All right, here we go. Why does this look so weird? There we go. What's up, guys? How you guys been? What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. What's up? Dog, send one up for truth. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. You know? What's up? How you guys been? I haven't streamed in 3 weeks. Smack that gum louder. It's gone. It's gone now. It's like school. You know, it's out of my mouth. Thank you. We should get thank you truth going on socials. It'll be good. Bruh. I was actually gonna go live later today. We're gonna ramp up the energy, don't worry. We just started the stream. But what's it called? I'm busy, you know? That's literally the reason why I haven't done a stream recently, because I'm occupied. But it's a new month, and this is the best time to start, you know, June 1st. Send one up for truth. Yeah, bro. That's tough. Like, the gate. It's so funny how things are. Like, I thought R-Truth was gonna stay around for a lifetime, basically. But TKO got other plans. You know, they're like, oh, we look at the bottom line, the cash, blah, blah, blah. Legends deal. I don't know about the Legends deal. Legends deals, the problem with them, apparently, they don't pay as well. So they would literally be like ripping them off. Imagine they release you, and then they sign you to a Legends deal. The Legends deal is infinitely less than the talent contract. Said news about truth. What a time we stream after news of our truth. Are you gonna post more videos? Now, I've been posting videos, bro. I didn't like May, to be honest. Not a good month. It was a bad month. But how you guys been? Money in the Bank next week. TKO doing nonsense. Bro, TKO, they're an entirely different beast to what WWE was earlier. Like, WWE wasn't exactly, like, morally good, because you guys know corporations, you know, $1 billion corporations. They always look at the bottom line. But TKO, they're cheaper. They want to make money in the smallest way. Like, everything they do is so calculated. This can't be a Triple H decision, can it? Probably is. I don't know. I don't work backstage. You know? WWE's bad right now. TKO ruined the company. I haven't been watching recently, to be honest. Like, the only things I've been doing recently, making the videos and just, that's it. Did you watch the UCL final? Of course. I watched it yesterday. I'll talk about that in a moment. What a boneheaded decision by WWE and TKO, releasing R-Truth and not renewing his contract. Yeah, bro. I just UFC fan. Yeah. They don't like Dana White and TKO. It's well known. But the problem with the R-Truth, it's like, if R-Truth gets released in a long time, guy, it's like no one's really safe. Like, I know R-Truth isn't the top guy, but he was always around. And it's not just like Make-A-Wish, it's because he actually increased morale in the back. You know? I feel like we've lost 3 years of progress in 3 months. But you know the old saying, WWE is on fire. What's up, Premiere? Long time no see. Glad to be back on the stream. Also said about truth. The thing is, bro, there's no lifers anymore. You got to make them cash, which is obviously how businesses work. But wrestling wasn't like this. And that's my issue with TKO. They run things from a different perspective. They don't look at it as a wrestling promotion, because a wrestling promotion is very different to running something else. You get what I mean? WWE's on fire. Is it? Maybe, I don't know. What's it called? Now, they do some crazy ass stuff, bro. Like, TKO. WWE's literally on fire, burning down, actually. They're gonna make more money. They obviously are, but I'm not touching that money, so I don't care. You know? I heard R-Truth had a top-selling shirt recently, which is funny. I thought it was weird how they released him. So that means Otis and Akira aren't too far behind. We don't want to put bad thoughts out, you know? The problem is, the issue, WWE does a lot of, like, stupid stuff. If you're like, what do you mean by that? A couple of years ago, you guys remember before Corona, COVID, they hoarded the entire indie roster? Not roster, but the independent circuit. They hoarded everyone. They got everyone there, right? And it got to a point in 2019 where they didn't know what to do. So they had to release everyone. And it was messy all around. You know, they do some stupid stuff. What's good, my guy? What up, 850, big boy? And hey, they're too bad I'm going to see a play. Otherwise, I'd stay. Later. The Ron Cena shirt was selling like crazy. Yep. Matt Hardy is here. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. One thing I don't get is like they don't respect some of their veterans, you know? A lot of the guys we've seen the last couple of years, they're gone. That's the business, you know? It's tough. At the same time, it doesn't really help. Because honestly, to be honest, like if I was a professional wrestler, I would find a way to sign a guaranteed contract. I don't know how they go about things. I don't know if they even give out guaranteed contracts, but I would do that, simply put. Like, if they don't want to renew it later on, they don't have to. It's crazy that R-Truth's last match is against JC Matillo on a random SmackDown. Yeah, I didn't watch it. Thoughts on AEW Double or Nothing? Good event. I watched it last week. I uploaded about it. By the way, you guys see any of my notifications? I need to know. Yeah, WWE had an overstacked roster in 2019. They did. Like, in 2019, too many guys. When the whole roster is tweeting Pharaoh to truth, you know you did something wrong. That's what I'm saying. I don't think, judging by everyone, it seems like they're not too happy about it. That's life, you know? That's one thing I'll give AEW credit is they show the respect to the vets. Yes, the people who don't are tapped in. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so weird how everything's already gloomy, but then they did something, they topped it. But they've been messing around a lot recently. Are going to All In Texas? No, I can't go. Where's SummerSlam? Oh yeah, New York. Yeah, I'm good off that. Yeah, imagine spending $2,000 to watch 2-night SummerSlam with Cardi B yelling, "Welcome to SummerSlam!" And then you see some mediocre matches. John Cena being all generic and monotone. Yeah, I'm good off that. I feel like WWE gave Truth the match against Cena as like a thank you. Yeah, but he lost in 3 seconds, bro. Yo, Avo, your new movie is this. Bro, one of my siblings showed me that clip. He's like, shut up. And I'm like, bro, what the hell's wrong with this guy? He should seek another profession. Welcome to SummerSlam. SummerSlam is going to be in New Jersey? Yeah. 2 nights. 2 nights. Everything's 2 nights. You know what I'm going to start doing? In honor of WWE, I'm going to start whatever long video I have, I'm going to make 2 parts deliberately. You know? Like that Randy Orton video I uploaded about 2 weeks ago. We're gonna start doing things and splitting them in half instead. Night 1, night 2. CNS dropped the title at SummerSlam. Bro, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, please save us. Like, listen, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I was the one that was slow with the John Cena heel turn. Like, I was very reserved because I thought, bro, we've seen John Cena from time to time. You know, throughout the years, we've seen him. He deserves to give us a full, comfortable time period for us to look at the heel run. It doesn't look good. And we got Money in the Bank next week. Logan Paul, John Cena, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. SmackDown? Is this a SmackDown main event for the pay-per-view? It is what it is, though. You know, I'm not too invested in wrestling right now. I feel like, what do you mean? I'm not too invested. I do watch the pay-per-views, and a part of me, and this sounds very crazy, like this is just a part of me. Low key. It's gotten so boring. I wouldn't even care if this is going to sound crazy, but because of how boring it is, by the way, if they were to just ditch Raw and SmackDown and then do pay-per-views, I would not have a problem with it. Like, hypothetically. It's not going to help the roster, but I don't care about the weekly shows that much. I will be watching Raw tomorrow, though, for that triple threat match. I will say that. But Raw and listen, back then, Raw and SmackDown had to be good or had to deliver because the pay-per-view was going to be sold on. They used to sell pay-per-views back then, right? They need the buy rates, the money, all that. So Raw and SmackDown had to be good. They had to have stories. Nowadays, it's like they sleep through Raw, sleep through SmackDown, and then they get to the pay-per-view. That's the thing. Crazy that WWE released R-Truth. Facts. Cody and Jay Cena Logan feels like a Raw main event. Yup. I only care about NXT when it comes to WWE. I used to care about NXT like in 2019, but then I noticed everyone that's on the show doesn't get pushed, so I didn't care. That's why I lost investment with NXT. I saw Ricochet, Aleister Black, and things just didn't go well for them. Yeah. This year SmackDown 3 hours is going to be temporary till maybe late September. It's not helping the show. It's not helping the show. But they got to find a balance between money and quality, because the money problem is that it affects a lot of facets of the show. NXT looks like TNA. Say his name and he appears. Yeah, but things, not literally, but things feel depressing today because of, what's his name, R-Truth's release. I wasn't depressed by it, but it's just like, they gotta keep him. You know, like, you watching Worlds Collide? When is it? Is it in June 6th or something? Let me check. When is Worlds Collide? If they're gonna tell me it's today, bro, I'm gonna laugh. Ah, it's June 7th. Okay. Maybe we'll see. But I don't really watch a lot of WWE for the stories, honestly. I just watch for the matches now. Which is not how it's supposed to be, but such is life. I only watch AEW Weekly, TV, pay-per-views, and WWE PLEs. Yeah. When Worlds Collide. How have you guys been? Did you like Double or Nothing? Yeah. I made a video on it. I made a video on it last week. Fun event. But we'll see how that the AEW World Title match at All In goes. You know? That's the one everyone's waiting for. You heard about Johnny Ace and Vince McMahon lawsuit? Of course. I heard Johnny Ace is gonna snitch on him, which is on character, which is literally on character for him. Like, it's on point. It's the most John Laurinaitis thing you'll ever hear. Then again, you're not gonna have a sense of loyalty to someone that would literally turn their back on you in an instant. You know, it's one of those killer be killed situations, I guess, for him. It's still kind of crazy that Stephanie Vaquero was dethroned by JC Jane from Fatal Influence. Like, you would think it would be Jordan Grace. Yeah, I saw that. That was random as hell. It's on the same day as Money in the Bank, but obviously it starts in the morning. Yeah, bro. I hope Money in the Bank's good. The thing is with that main event, I'm gonna tell you my issue with that main event. It's not just, oh, it's a tag team match. It's the fact that they're doing this like NPC John Cena final year thing. Oh, I missed the video about Double or Nothing. Time to go watch it. Yeah, I enjoyed the event. What else? Do you believe Triple H hates the Money in the Bank concept? I mean, has he had a good Money in the Bank run? Let's see. 22 Austin Theory? Hell no. Liv Morgan cashed in the same night. 23, he had Damian he probably does hate it. By the way, who do you guys think is winning Money in the Bank? Honestly, my two, I don't know. We'll see. If CM Punk qualifies, there's an opportunity there. They could do an RVD thing where CM Punk's like, you know what? I want to face John Cena for that title. But at the same time, I'm like, LA Knight deserves it. But a part of him is like, are they even going to book him good? Vince McMahon, keep it up, my bro. I thought about that yesterday randomly. The reason why I was thinking about that randomly yesterday is because I was thinking of stuff WWE did in the 2000s, and I was like, bro, they used to be wild. Like, this guy casually said the N-word and walked out. Segment. It was a mini segment. They moved on. Wild. LA Knight, please. Who do you have winning Money in the Bank briefcase this year? Maybe, could be Seth Rollins, low-key. I don't have a problem with Seth Rollins. If you're like, why? I know people. I saw people on the internet complain, say Seth Rollins is not exactly the most interesting choice, but he's a safe option, honestly. If it's Seth Rollins, CM Punk, those are very safe options, and you'll avoid the issue of having to book a first-time champion. But LA Knight does deserve it. Like, let's be honest. Seth versus Roman at SummerSlam. We'll see. If you watch Dark Side of the Ring, I heard it just came out. They have a Muhammad Hassan episode. LA Knight deserves that Money in the Bank over everyone. They should have striked when the iron was hot back in 23. Yup. Giancarlo Cardenas, love your videos, bro. Keep doing your thing, gang. Of course, we are. I actually streamed today because my head's like in a weird space, I'd say. Because the last week, I've been working on some videos nonstop, and I felt weird because I'm trying to work on my next videos. I know what some of my next videos are, but my head feels weird, you know? I'm down the right headspace. Where I first learned about... Bruh. I don't even remember when I learned about 6, bro. Like, I'm just trying to think. I don't even remember. But that's funny that you remember from there. Maybe I did from there. Maybe. Probably. Like, bro, Edge is like, I'm a vault lead on the ring. He doesn't say that exactly, but you get the whole point. Imagine Solo Sikoa being the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. What do you think this is, 2022? LA Knight should have won in 23 and Carmelo Hayes win this year. Bro, I saw some people. We're talking about Karrion Kross. He's not in the match. If he's in the match, he's not winning. Let's be honest. You know? I hate WWE's current stage setup. It makes every show feel the same. At this point, honestly, that's the least of my worries with them, bro. I love your content. Should make more 2002 WWE videos. Facts. I will. Stone Cold's final days in WWE. And my next video, which is one I was supposed to upload a couple of days ago, is another one from 02. Yeah. Next video is from 02. A cool old moment was when Kane held Triple H in the air for chokeslam and was drinking a beer. Is that like a post-show thing? Huh? Like I was saying, I really hope they turn it around. It's just we know corporations and businesses, they don't exactly look for quality at times. Like, quality will align with them if it makes their pockets bigger. You get what I mean? Look at EA Sports. EA Sports could operate the way, whatever that way they want. Why? Because they don't got competition. You know? Karrion Kross really just saw the Miz talking smack segment and said, fuck it, we bought. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen that segment just about as many times as the talking smack one. Like, bro, every day they post the Karrion Kross clip on Twitter. Every day. You know? It's just like, bro, calm down. I heard one of his shirts is best selling, so maybe that's why a lot of people are irritated. I've been hearing a lot about how there's not enough larger than life characters and compelling stories in wrestling these days. They spin the block and do the same stuff, bro. It's just hard. Look at the ladder match. I don't care about the ladder match because how you gonna top the other matches? Almost, that's in general right now. Like, everyone's creatively stagnant, not just wrestling, like all around. Everyone's creatively stagnant. They don't really care. They do the least amount of work. The worldwide problem. Oh, who do you think is going to win the women's Money in the Bank match? Naomi? Did she qualify yet? Let me check. Isn't she facing Jade or Jade Cargill? Or did she face her already? Like, I haven't been watching WWE a lot recently. I haven't been focused on. Let's see. Yeah, Naomi's in. Yeah, I'm going to say Naomi. It might be a crazy pick, but we'll go with it. WWE main roster logos look basic. Raw from 2001 to 14 looked great. SmackDown through exclamation and a logo in 07 effects. Yeah, there was a lot of creativity, but that's a problem all around the world now. AI. They minimize the work. It's like, bro, if you're using AI, shouldn't it help you in a small way instead of doing most of the work for you? You know what I mean? Who do you think will take the AEW belt off Mox? I hope it's not him, but it's probably going to be Darby Allin. I hope it's not, because that would mean we have to wait until October just to get it done. You know, it's in his hometown, Wrestle Dream, or home state. It's in Washington. Bro, I don't want this. It is boring, but Chad needs something at this point. You're talking about El Grande Americano? Oh, yeah. Sosako and Naomi are winning Money in the Bank. Hell no. MJF or Hangman. The Switch 2 drops next week. Yeah, I heard about that. Am I the only one who wants the El Grande Americano gimmick to go? It was fun the first few months, but it's starting to get stale. Just let Chad Gable back and let him do what he does best. That's the problem, bro. Now, the worst case scenario, Chad Gable, they'll let him do this gimmick. Once people get bored of it, they won't push him. Then they'll release him and act like it's his fault. That's what they do. He's got enough character in him to wrestle. It's just, I don't really care about El Grande Americano because it's not crazy. You know what I mean? It's just there. I'm hoping it's Naomi, not Rhea. Who knows? Like, bro, I thought there was a possibility of El Grande Americano to get some like crazy heat and some insane stuff. But it's just whatever, you know? Man, I miss heat, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I low-key miss the real heat, but it's not gonna exist ever again. You know? Like, you're never getting a heel like JBL or any. You're just not. Like, even if people boo the wrestler, they boo them out of love. I think that's because everyone knows how wrestling operates. But it's weird, because whenever I watch a movie, I do hate the villain for the most part. With wrestling, it's just like, he's a good heel, but it's not like, argh. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Perk Gable. Bro, we haven't seen his final form, bro. I'm telling you. Chad Gable, we have not seen his final form. And that makes me sad, because we know he's capable of more, you know? If El Grande Cappuccino wins Money in the Bank and cashes in on Vikingo, I'll laugh. Bruh. If he uses the Money in the Bank on that belt, bro, I'm gonna be sad. Well, not sad, because I don't. But, bro. I would literally, I'm losing my train of thought. I sound like a moron. Basically, if he does cash in on Vikingo, the Money in the Bank concept's lost. Like, I thought you could use it on major titles. And it's not saying that AAA title isn't major, but I thought it's for the world titles. Then we had Austin Theory cash in on a mid-card belt and lose. Stupid. Cena's heel run has been disappointing, but I do hope Cody won't be the one to beat him. We need a more interesting champion. The problem is, bro, if it ain't Cody, who else? There's CM Punk, of course, Seth Rollins, but if he's going to end his heel run, he's most likely going to lose to a face. Did you hear Ric Flair's Twitter comments on Jim Ross's health? Did he say he's making things about him or something? He deleted it quick because I didn't get to see it, but that's what I heard. I do think Darby Allin will beat Mox, but Ospreay deserves to win the title as well. I think they're going to drag Ospreay for a bit and have him redeem himself after that loss. I watched the Muhammad Hassan episode of Dark Side of the Ring. I was going to watch it, but till later. Probably watch it on the side. El Grande Cappuccino. Imagine R-Truth at some point winning the Money in the Bank and cashing on the Women's World title and taking it. That does sound like R-Truth thing. Or the most R-Truth thing, to be honest, would be him winning Money in the Bank and cashing in on the AEW World title instead. Like, that would be the most R-Truth thing ever. I think Flair kept the grudge after with JR. Bro, he's still on him. I think it's because wrestlers are constant characters and movie are characters only for a few hours every year. Yeah. There's a lot of things, because wrestling's very different, you know? It's not just simple. You can't just compare two forms of entertainment. You know? But now the real villain's WWE. Like, let's be honest, who's the biggest heel? It's the company themselves. El Grande Cappuccino. I'm still stuck on that. Let me see Twitter quick. Red Bull. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Imagine if Truth debuts in AEW's are false. Are false. That's such a silly name, bro. I think Flair kept a grudge on Jarrett after his comments on the plane ride from hell on Dark Side of the Ring. Isn't it also because of the 2K14 interview thing they did like 10 years ago? Flair was drinking and they held JR responsible or something like that, and then they released JR instead of Flair. Looks like Mariah May's coming to WWE to maybe Evolution. Probably Evolution. Speaking of Evolution, bro, what do they got going on there? Let's be honest. Like, Hey, not wrestling rant, but you're a hockey fan. I'm actually not, no. I watch football, soccer, and basketball. I watch football and soccer the most, you know. But Mariah May, Evolution as a concept, bro, I feel like they're just doing it for the sake of it, you know? Today made me realize, like, Evolution, they're just doing it because AEW's got that all-in show, and they just want to do it. Because they announced it on a random commercial. They're not hyping it up. And it feels like they're doing Make-A-Wish. It's like, here, we're giving you your show. Like, I read about some of the women, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, they don't like Evolution because it feels like they're giving them something for the sake of it. Do you think this will be LeBron's last season? I think next season, yeah. LeBron. Is he getting the title? I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe Luka's first full season in LA. Change. That picture of John Cena bloody creeps me to this day. Looks like a horror movie poster. I see him as a heroic hero overcoming the bad villain. I told Triple H how to get creative. I told Triple H. Where do you know Triple H, huh? I hope they at least let Truth keep the 24/7 title belt because he made that belt his own. CM Punk is being John Cena. Maybe. Evolution is a mystery. Jade versus Naomi versus... Where'd it go? Bianca. LeBron being Cena for the title. Maybe. Hello, Premier. What up? They're wasting Karrion Kross. Honestly, they might, but at the same time, just to play devil's advocate, they might just be thinking of a way to integrate him into the shows, because if he's at Money in the Bank, a lot of people are going to want him to win or some things, and they probably don't want to do that. CM Punk should win Money in the Bank again to make history cash in once Cody beats Cena. I think the WrestleMania main event should be Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk, right? So if they involve John Cena's retirement as a way of starting it, I'll support it. If they would have had Evolution going head-to-head with All In, boy, the backlash behind that move. Bro, they're doing a lot of boneheaded decisions with Evolution. Like, if you're going to do an Evolution show, why are you doing it so soon? Why are you rushing it? And where were you the last 6 years? They could have had a second Evolution show in 2019. Premier debuting against Little Jimmy and defeating Cena with the help of R-Truth. Finally, I'm going to win the championship and become a millionaire in the process. Let's go. This is the best timeline, bro. I'm telling you. Who do you think needs to win more for the AEW Women's Championship? Toni Storm or Mercedes Moné? Toni Storm. I think Mercedes will win it anyways, but I think Toni Storm needs it. Punk needs to win and announce his cash in just like how Cena did at Raw 1000. Facts. R-Truth's heel run was better. R-Truth's heel run is better than Cena's current one. Easy, yeah. Bro. You guys watched the video yesterday, right? I talked about it there. R-Truth, I think he could have been one of the best Money in the Bank holders because of how unpredictable he was. You know? They gave it to Alberto Del Rio. A Mexican aristocrat. And they had a lot of high hopes for him, bro. Like, a lot. So, obviously, R-Truth wasn't going to win it. I think Damian Priest is world champion again. I enjoyed this title reign. You better not write that at Twitter. They're going to jump you if you say that. You know? The WWE counter program AEW every turn is such terrible PR. Like, yeah, the thing is, bro, they view AEW as competition, but at the same time, they don't. You know? It's weird. It's such a weird paradox. They should just let them have All In. You know? But I'm not the billionaire. I'm not the one. They're going to be like, we got to stifle them at every chance we have or something. John Cena's not a face or a heel. He's neutral. He's just a peacemaker. If only he was actually a peacemaker, bro. Like he is in that show. Be funnier, more entertaining. And that's my issue, bro. I feel like they're not understanding that John Cena's retiring at the end of the year. As John Cena. This isn't freaking MGK becoming a wrestler. This is John Cena. You guys know who John Cena is? One of the biggest wrestling names in history. His last year, they're doing this. Like, bro, it's tough. We really got John Cena teaming up with Logan Paul in his last run and glazing him is crazy. Yeah. All in is going to have Moxley versus Hangman, Tony versus Mercedes, Kenny versus Okada. None of the WWE shows against it can really compete with that. Yeah, but they want to minimize, even if it's 10%, you know? And that's my issue. I just, but again, I'm not running the business, bro. We're not the ones running the business. Like, these guys, they look at them as competition. They'll do anything, bro. Like, if AEW was up for sale right now, they would try to purchase it. Thoughts on 1995 WWF? They didn't have stars, uninspiring, and it wasn't a good time for the wrestling industry. Then Hogan, then the NWO came, ECW, all that. We're not Nick Khan, Mark Shapiro, and Ari Emanuel. Yeah, bro, they're ruthless, you know? Like, me personally, if you're going to see competition, you might have it in your heart to be like, you know what, let them stay around. They're ruthless, bro. There's a reason why they're in that position. You know what I mean? Especially Ari Emanuel. And, bro, TKO's got a lot of... They're cold. 2026, Cena and LeBron are going to be retired. Our childhood is fading away. Yeah, bro. My childhood faded away the moment I started making money, bro. That's when my childhood ended, to be honest. You know. What happened on Cena's appearance on SmackDown? Rah, you wanna be, you're wannabes, I'm not. I got my ass handed to me again. This is the kind of heel work Punk was opposed to when they built him up against versus The Undertaker. I don't, listen, I don't like the heel run because there's no risk. It's just boring. Like, if you're a heel, you gotta transform yourself, not the cartoon reactions, all that. No. Why are we turning him heel, bro? I'm saying quit blaming Triple H, but he's the one that releases people. He's the one that books the show, so we could blame Triple H. Yeah, you should. Honestly, you should. You know why? Who's in the front of the Netflix show that's coming out in the near future? Who is it? It's Triple H. He's in the front. He's like, I'm gonna open the curtain. Blah, blah, blah. You're the face of WWE. You know what I mean? I just watched your CM Punk title reign video again, and it got me thinking, is it more impressive winning multiple world titles, being like Roman or Punk, where you just have one long-ass title reign? Now, the title reign depends, because you guys remember, Honky Tonk Man was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion until 2 years ago, right? I'd go with multiple world titles, low-key. And depends on the runs themselves. Did you think John Cena ruined wrestling? Yeah, I don't think he did a good job. If you mean ruined wrestling by me turning off the TV, yes. Because my mind hasn't really been with wrestling, and I could show you guys. It's still crazy that Cena's turn was down on the fly. Yeah, bro. It's disrespectful because a heel turn of John Cena's magnitude should have a thought-out plan. Like Hogan, I read up the stories about how he turned heel. They knew it was a risk, but they were committed to it, and it was different from everything that was in the wrestling world, you know? Triple H is the real face of WWE. Bro, his wife, Stephanie, she said, it's not the Renaissance era, it's the Paul Levesque era. So Paul Levesque runs everything, obviously. He knows what Akira Tozawa was going to do in his match. He knows who's going to get released. And obviously, listen, I'm going to tell you this. Obviously, Triple H doesn't control everything, right? But if they tell him, you're going to have to release 10 talent, he's going to sign off on it, right? Like, let's be honest. They need to sign that sumo guy that was in the Greatest Royal Rumble that replaced Yokozuna because he couldn't attend the show. That was so random, bro. Like, that sumo guy is one... that sumo guy, he's someone you'd randomly see at an I Showed Speed scream. I liked when Cody brought back the classic IC title. I wish they kept it, you know? That title was so good. Wrestling is a meta-narrative in ways, but to have Cena say I'm going to ruin wrestling, to have a disappointing heel run is where it loses its meaning. Yeah. A part of him saying he's going to ruin wrestling is him taking the title and leaving, but it's not as grand as they make it out to be. You get what I mean? Like, John Cena's just another guy in the roster now. Like, we know John Cena based on his history, but if I turn down the channel right now, I wouldn't be compelled by him. Unfortunately, this is going to sound crazy, I would be more compelled by Logan Paul. Because John Cena's not really doing much. The Fiend song is going down in WWE history with negative connotations. Just come outside for the fight. Take your time. Oh my God, bro. Fiend. Just like John Cena said, you get nothing, so he's right. We got nothing. Same monotone promos for weeks now. That's the thing about it. Listen. I'm going to tell you guys something. A lot of people say John Cena's making sense with you get nothing, but that's just an excuse. I'm not watching the shows right now. I'm telling you. I actually don't watch John Cena's promos because they don't offer much, right? And because of that, he's technically right. He did ruin wrestling for me. But the way it got ruined, bro. Like the quote, "I'm gonna ruin wrestling." It should have been him leaving the roster, pissed off at him, angry. It should have really been a big story. It's just not. Logan Paul's a real life dingus who brings real heat. Yeah, bro. Logan Paul, he is not liked. I don't like him either, you know? I don't like Logan Paul for a lot of reasons. Some of those are crypto related. Others are because I see him everywhere. I don't really care about what he has to say. He's like almost an AI character at times. You know? Thoughts on Lunatic Fringe gimmick. I liked it. It's just Dean himself didn't like it as much. I liked him in the comedy role. I'm not gonna lie. But then you mention this to someone on Twitter, lame. I like him with death matches, hardcore, all that. Good for you. I'm just saying, there's something for me to enjoy with the Lunatic Fringe. Not gonna lie, seeing AEW being able to recover from 24, it's still crazy now. Of course, it's still not perfect, but at least it's some improvement. It's better. Corporate Rock nowhere to be found. I'm over The Rock. This is on Triple H, to be honest. Like, Rock technically ruined things, but if someone leaves a mess, someone's gonna have to clean it, right? And Triple H didn't do a good job with it. Here's the thing. This was always the plan. He always says that. He talks on press conferences with the glaze. Like, bro. They glaze him in the press conference. Record sales, record this. And I feel like he gets emotional too much as well. Like Triple H, when he's chronically online by the looks of it, he's like, "You guys happy now?" He looks at the fans complaining about the booking on Twitter, and literally, he says some stuff verbatim that people say on the internet. I'm like, bro, you're online. And that's one thing that Triple H needs to work on, is to not get emotional when it comes to fans complaining. Either ignore it or do good. Simple as that. Logan Paul's in-ring fall-off mirrors Jack Perry's post-heel turn. Oh my god, you're right. Bruh, Logan Paul is in-ring. He's not that interesting, to be honest. The reason why he's not that interesting is because he's missing a lot of important teachings of wrestling, you know? The first matches he had were good, because even though he wasn't a good wrestler, he was a spot monkey. You know what I mean? That's my issue with it. Now he's a boring wrestler, and he has these spots that are just for him to upload on YouTube. You get what I mean? I don't know. I don't even think about Logan Paul. He don't even be on my mind. That's just mentally with him. Yup. R-Truth getting released proves that nobody is safe. He's over, well liked by his peers, and has a top-selling shirt right now. Guys like Miz, Sheamus can get cut. WWE doesn't have long-term plans with them. Sheamus? Yeah, bro. That's the problem. Like, say, for example, Sheamus, God forbid, he gets injured again, right? He suffers an injury within that injury. They're going to release him, probably. They're cold. And I've saw Sheamus since 2009, which is almost 20 years, you know? So obviously he deserves some courtesy, some respect, but they don't care. It's like, release. And that's how the companies operate. There's a reason why they're in those positions. They're the ones that make these cold decisions. Cena should have never turned heel. He was the ultimate face, and that should have changed. Facts. I need water. I'll be back. Carlito's not released. Wait, what? Nah, please don't tell me, bro. I'm gonna be pissed. Bro, don't be like that. Let's not joke like that, bro. I'm serious. No! When's he not getting renewed, bro? Damn, bro. This is so stupid. Bro, let me show you guys something. Look. Now, this is actually annoying. I'm telling you guys. Like, it legitimately is. Because... Alright, where were we? Bro, they released Carlito. No! Give me a moment. Look at this. Carlito will be leaving WWE. Since Carlito's current deal will not be renewed. When's it ending though? Damn. Like, obviously they don't have to keep these wrestlers on. Man, that's tough, bro. Because everything's serious now, bro. Now this one makes sense. No! I low-key, man. Should have just kept them around, bro. Damn. Yeah, see this? Carlito. Damn. It's tough. I don't understand releases being business decisions when they cut guys like Lashley, Braun, Bray. Bray got fired against the top merch sellers, The Fiend. Seems like stupid business to me. Lashley actually left on his own, by the way. Just want to add that. I don't know. You know why I don't like them? I'll tell you why I don't like the releases. Because sometimes they gotta cut losses, which is basically their own problem. So they gotta cut wrestlers because of it. Carlito just won a championship on another brand. Well, that's tough. I thought he had a 3-year contract. Like, contracts are 2 years now or something? That's weird. Bro. I just think that, like, he's a part of the Judgment Day, bro. Like, that's why I'm confused. He's a part of the group, and they're releasing a centerpiece of... Not centerpiece, I'm doing too much. But they're releasing a part of the group, bro. You guys don't think that's strange? Like, he's a part of the Judgment Day. He's not... He's a part of one of the bigger factions in WWE. Why can't John Cena change up his shirts like he has the same colorful shirts? Because they want to make money, bro. I'm going to show you guys something. Yeah, let's go on Fanatics. Let's see something quick. Wait up. He won the WWC Puerto Rican Championship. I have a feeling after the Evolution pay-per-view, we might see a bunch of female releases, sadly. Bro, they release a lot of people. And it's like, sometimes you need some characters, you know what I mean? But it's not safe. Like, at this point, even if you're a veteran, they can release you. WWE's playing My GM IRL right now with these releases. They were never that high. Yeah, they released Carlito. They were never that high on Bray for whatever reason. The guy was special. The torch was passed from Taker. He had a weird relationship with Vince, apparently. He said it himself. You know, it's not just rumors. He said he loved him, but at the same time, you expected way more from him. All right, let me guys show you. Let me guys. Maybe I should have had a long sleep before streaming, bro. I'm starting to sound like Lex Luger later in his career. All right. Can you guys tell me what kind of a heel wears this merch? Let me set this up. Please. I'm noticing that a lot of the older talent is being let go at a higher rate as of late. Facts, bro. Why would WWE release talent like, come on, you got the Saudi money? Hey, they want all the money, bro. Remember Triple H, the meme with all the belts? That's it. All right. What kind of a heel? By the way, we're following wrestling tradition. What kind of a heel wears this stuff, bro? This one, low-key, makes sense. This one, last real world champion, makes sense. Bro, he should be wearing this all the time. I swear, bro. If he wore this all the time, it would make so much sense. This is the one shirt he should be wearing. This. You know? What, bro? Orange? And he's got cities on them, bro. Dayton, Ohio. St. Louis. This is why the heel turn, bro. This is why the heel turn doesn't work as much. This is a good shirt once again. Last real world champion. This stuff, these shirts make sense. But they want to sell these and make money out of his retirement tour and have him be a heel at the same time. It's not a good dynamic. You know what I mean? I remember when I had more subs than you, Wrestling Premiere. Damn you. Win. The boneheaded decision by WWE continues. Bro, they give John Cena all those shirts. Why? Why? Well, actually, I know why. It's because of money. Money. And then someone on Twitter dick rides them. He's like, they're making money. I know they're making money, but why are you sucking their dick, huh? You're not getting paid for it, huh? Dressed like 04 Cena? Bro, you guys know the hustle, loyalty, respect shirt, right? That shirt alone makes sense. Imagine if it was a hustle, loyalty, instead of the white font, he makes it black. It's a cut-through game, man. Facts, bro. That's life, bro. When you climb up the ladder and stuff like that, a lot of stuff's cold. Like, people cut your legs from under you, and there's a reason why these people are at the top. John Cena having colors for a sports team is kind of tough, not gonna lie. Yeah, if he was a face. The Lakers one's low-key good, I'm not gonna lie. I saw that one, I actually liked it. Carlito did get released. They do releases differently now, though. They inform them they're gonna release them in 3 months. They got Carlito now, bro. I actually thought he would... Damn, he's a part of the Judgment Day. Like, he's a... It's so confusing. He's a part of them. And this is why I don't really care about the TV. Because if someone from Alpha Academy gets released, it's like, why am I going to get invested in the shows? Cena might as well come out to Shame's theme. Facts. Can't believe TNT NBA is gone. If John Cena brings a shirt with Clippers colors at Money in the Bank, I'm buying and wear that to the Baby Metal concert in September. The Lakers one's actually good. I'm not going to lie. And he's kind of like the Los Angeles Lakers of the WWE. Alex Gemini, what up, what up? Welcome to the stream. These departures got me messed up. That's life, bro. Carlito, you know, he's got Puerto Rico, you know, his family and all that. But it's crazy. Imagine you just got used to Orlando, right? You got used to Orlando. You're like, maybe life isn't so bad. They release you, boom. Maybe you have to go to AEW. You want to move to Jacksonville. What if you don't like Jacksonville? It gets complicated. You get what I mean? Thoughts on R-Truth's release? Unfortunate. I actually think this one's a bit colder than the others, seeing as he's actually a top merch seller. He has the Ron Cena shirt. So I thought that was messed up. The cartoon fans as wrestling fans tweet is hilarious. Which one? Can't find it. If you got it, send it. WWE could have come up with a better Titantron instead of a black Titantron with John Cena's name on it. It makes sense, but he's wearing green. That's the thing about it. Carlito won't trigger me. He was the best part of Monday Night Raw for me. He's a part of the Judgment Day. Even if he was the worst wrestler on the roster, he shouldn't be released. Like, now they gotta retcon him or something. If you believe you're turning the only way. Bro, he just won that championship yesterday, too. Tony will leave Carlito off TV. That's the thing, bro. Not everyone's going to get used. WWE act like their champions isn't retiring at the end of the year. Facts. That's the thing. John Cena's on borrowed time. It's not like... There was one thing I thought of. It was a while ago. It was not too long ago. I thought to myself, if John Cena said I'm staying until WrestleMania 42 and retiring there, I would accept it, but the way with the way they're booking him now, I'm good off it, to be honest. WWE just releasing the funny wrestlers. RIP comedy wrestling. I don't think Triple H is a big fan of comedy wrestling. There was one point I remember when he just got into when he just became the booker, everything was so serious. It was so weird. Am I the only one who realizes that Cena's colors in his gear represents the city he's in? Well, some of them. It's just a heel run, bro. You know what I mean? I just like I don't know. They're trying to make him out to be someone that's not a traditional heel, but it's not that interesting. You know what I mean? People over there, what's up? Apollo Crews? I don't know. We're not asking for people to be released, by the way. Oh yeah, they killed off Ezekiel immediately. Yeah, I remember that. Elias, Ezekiel. Bro, they killed him. I remember there was one, it was very serious. You know, you'd see the Judgment Day coming out, all that. Triple H only likes comedy wrestling when it's edgy teenage stuff like DX was, but he can't do that anymore because of Wilkins. Bro, DX wasn't even... Like, what was the craziest thing DX did? The blackface? Other than that, some of the stuff they were doing was very controversial at the time. They could still do it now. It's too cinema now, WWE. Where's the cinema, bro? I don't see no cinema. Equality. We're here cooking the freaking filet mignon or something. They got a lot of buzzwords, bro. That's one thing about WWE in the last 2 years, ever since Triple H came around. They love the buzzwords to make their point. You know what I mean? They invented the suck it. Yeah, the suck it one, they could still do that one. You know? Like, this is cinema. He throws a jab at AEW. He's like, this ain't no forbidden door or something. We need a new DX now, kinda. They'll probably release them halfway into their run. Some comedic relief. Well, they released R-Truth. They would call Vince and Shane gay every Monday back in 2006. I actually don't remember that one, to be honest. I remember they made fun of Vince because he was dancing and all that. They made fun of Shane for being the kid with the silver spoon, you know? I know why people didn't like that segment, but I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh at it. I'm black, by the way. Bro, my favorite part of that segment was the Owen Hart. Like the fake Owen Hart Jason Sensation. It's like, I'm not a nugget. I'm a winner. I'm a soul survivor. Like, he got his voice down perfectly. What was your reaction when you heard CM Punk quit WWE? Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember that time. I don't remember the exact moment, but I remember they said he walked out, right? I remember. So what I thought was he would return. Like, I knew he had issues. Then Vince came around. He said, quote, CM Punk is on a sabbatical, right? Then as time went on, you started believing it less. There came an episode of Raw in Chicago, and this was where I thought he was coming back. You know, I thought CM Punk was coming back. Then Paul Heyman comes out with the mic, and he's just frustrating. After that, I just lost hope, you know? I lost hope in the CM Punk return after that because it felt like he was very mad with them. And as the days go by, you're like, I remember July 2014, I'm like, okay, maybe he's going to come back. His contract expires in July. He's coming back. He didn't come back. Then he did the shoot interview in December, and yeah, you guys know the rest. If anyone smells what The Rock is cooking, it's me. Look how big my dom nose is. He uses a Canadian accent. I'm a winner, a soul survivor. Bro, I haven't watched that DX segment in a long ass time. They used to do stuff differently back then. Hey bro, big up. Do you think that Jon Moxley will ever return to WWE? Honestly, if you point a gun to my head, yeah. The thing is, the only reason he left is because creative was bad. He said something in his book about begging them not to make him leave from all this money. He's like, please don't let me leave all this money. Because they were paying him a lot. Thoughts on 2009 DX? Silly, but good tag team. Like, their segments weren't that interesting, but their tag team matches were good. You know? E-Generation X. I would go on Twitter, but there's not much on there. It's doom scrolling. Like, things aren't looking too good, bro. A lot of people are upset about the releases and the incidences and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Glad the Wyatt 6 returned. Yeah, I saw their back the other day. But yeah, we just hope they don't release, but they're gonna, such is life. Um, can John's heel turn ever even last into the end of the year, especially if the goal is to have Cody beat him and win the championship back? I don't think it is. Is there any points having Rey Mysterio nowadays? Of course, bro. Rey Mysterio's just based on his name. Even if he was walking in crutches, Rey Mysterio. Plus, the funny part about Rey is they actually give him different storylines. That's the one thing I like about Rey Mysterio recently, in the last 5 years. They actually give him different storylines compared to the rest of the roster. Some of the storylines are weird. Remember his daughter with, what's his name? Buddy Murphy. But they give him different storylines. Dom. The Seth Rollins I one, which was so crazy. You know what I mean? My least favorite tag team in 2010's era was the Hard Dynasty. Is it because they didn't talk a lot? Why was R-Truth released? I don't even know. Budget cuts or something? Ray's the GOAT. He's just injury prone. Yeah. He used to be very injury prone back in 2009. You guys remember? What did he say? I had three surgeries on my left knee. The don't try this at home commercial. Thoughts on the 2010 Money in the Bank pay-per-view? Good of it. It kind of set it up well for the future. It's like, this is our show, Money in the Bank. And it was actually better than TLC, Extreme Rules, and all those Hell in a Cell, all those pay-per-views. Will Dom take the mantle of the mask when Ray retires? I think the burden of that mask is going to be too heavy. Like, Dom could do his own thing. He could wear it once in a while just for, like, a special performance, but I don't think he should wear the mask. Like, this ain't no Spider-Man. Is Braun Breaker going to become WWE champion in the next 2 years? Yes. They're setting him up well. See YouTube. Will LA Knight get the briefcase? Maybe. There's a chance. R-Truth released from WWE. Yup. Nibbling, suffering, succotash. Suffering, succotash. Suffering, a succotash. Great Khali. What? Dom doesn't need the mask, honestly, at this point. Yeah. I'm just into wrestling shoots and podcasts now. I'm a casual fan when it comes to matches. I don't even care about the stories. I care about the matches more now. Buddy Murphy feuding with the Mysterios was some crazy foreshadowing. If you know, you know. Oh, yeah, it was low-key. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Your thoughts on Triple H not being a fan of the Money in the Bank concept? The problem with Money in the Bank, it was already an issue when Vince was around. But I think the reason why he hates it is because he can't think of a way to reimagine the concept. Rollins' group reminds me of Evolution. I've seen similarities. What's an era of wrestling you can't get into? I could get into a lot. It's just if it's before the 80s, nah. I just can't get into the era before the 80s. I had to see Randy Savage. I had to see Ricky Steamboat. I had to see Ric Flair. I see these guys. You know what I mean? Anything afterwards, yeah, I could. Yeah. WCW, ECW, stuff like that. Yep. I wish Breaker or Reed were in Money in the Bank and then you have them cash in on Seth down the line with a big face turn. Jim Cornette even said he likes Money in the Bank. Paul, say something stupid. WWE's on fire. I know you're talking about Paul Heyman, but you get the point. Video idea. Still more juice, gimmick feuds, tag teams, just things in wrestling that were good but could have gone on a bit longer. Yeah, of course. I got one of wrestling what-ifs coming. Wrestling what-ifs that I think about. Let me see the list. For those of you that care about the video. Wrestling what-ifs. Okay, let's see. All right, wrestling with us. We got Magnum TA, Lex Luger's push, Yokozuna in the Attitude Era, Stone Cold never retired in 03. We got some more. I gotta write them down. Basically, what ifs? I just look at scenarios that almost happened. Simple as that. Maybe they could cycle between Money in the Bank and King of the Ring each year, so now they get overused. Yeah. The thing is, Money in the Bank was a great concept back in the day. Back when a wrestler became a permanent main eventer because of it. Now, if R-Truth didn't get busted for weed, do I think he would have had more title reigns? No. But early on, you had Edge, CM Punk, you had some good guys, but then it turned into something else, you know? What if Chris 404 Arrow was alive? I actually think he would be a road agent for AEW. I don't know. I just imagine him in AEW for some reason. Hollywood Rock is a gimmick that could have benefited from going on just a little bit longer than it did. Facts, bro. Oh my God. Hollywood Rock was goated. Dun, dun, dun. Like, Rock was so good in that role. Is Cody turning heel this year? No. If I had to guess, no. We'll do some cinema stuff and have him turn heel at WrestleMania 44 or something. What if Sting broke the streak? It would have been a good moment. People would have been talking about how young guy could have broke it, but let's be honest. And this is a crazy hot take. Triple H. He has more of a claim to end the streak than just about everyone else. To be honest. Triple H, Kane, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. These guys all had a claim to end the streak, to be honest. The thing is, a young guy can't hold the burden of ending the streak. If they're ending the streak, they cannot be a bust. They cannot blow it. Roman Reigns could have been the one. Money in the Bank is a good concept. It's just getting booked poorly by being wasted on the same night as a PLE. Dolph's cash-in was amazing, but unfortunately it didn't lead to anything. Yup. Bro, Dolph Ziggler, during his run, he was going to have a title reign, right? Obviously. That's what happens when you win a title. Then he got kicked by Jack Swagger in the face. Accidental, of course. He got punted in the face, and it was a brutal concussion. And then WWE's like, you're injury prone. So that's what happened. Crazy that Jericho never won his own stipulation match. I think it's crazier that Chris Jericho didn't win the 2012 Royal Rumble. What if CM Punk ended the streak in 2013? That's a crazy ass possibility. That's a crazy ass idea. Maybe unpopular, but I honestly feel even if the Nexus did go over at SummerSlam, Vince probably still would have fucked it up eventually anyway. I think if Nexus won, John Cena's going to beat Wade Barrett by the end of it. That's always how the story goes. The good guy wins. John Cena would have beat Barrett at SummerSlam. I mean, WrestleMania 27. You see Wyatt 6 as the faces of fear in WWE? Not as much as the originator, Bray Wyatt. Yeah, that concussion killed that world title run. Bro, he took a crazy ass kick to the face. I remember watching it. I remember that he's going after a ladder, if I remember, and then boom! It was a rough kick, bro. Like that kick, it makes you feel bad for Dolph Ziggler because even if he wasn't like a 10-time world champion, he got stifled. If it was up to you, what year do you think Chris Jericho could have won the briefcase? Oh, wait. You're going to have to prevent CM Punk from winning it. But oh, wait. I think he could have turned heel and then cashed in on someone like CM Punk or HBK or something. Oh, wait, might have been this year. Thoughts on Raw 2009. Messy show. They didn't even know what they were booking. I thought CM Punk taking over Nexus would have elevated that squad back to form. Yep. But it didn't. CM Punk himself wasn't even in a great position at that point. You guys remember CM Punk used to get beaten up by the Big Show every week? Yep. Swagger and Del Rio as world champions honestly played a huge part in me losing interest as a kid. I never got behind Del Rio. By that point, I just watched wrestling. I like wrestling. I don't really care much for Del Rio. At some points, Ricardo Rodriguez was more entertaining than him. At some points. But I like Ziggler and all those guys, so they kept me around. Vince knew what he was doing when he sold the company to Endeavor. He probably knew this was going to happen to the company. I think he knew when to cash out. You know, like these billionaires are calculated. And it's not like I'm glazing them. It's just common sense. By the way, on the just ended football soccer season, which team's trophy win surprised you the most? Tottenham, bro. Tottenham's win surprised me the most. But honestly, the most surprising thing that happened was a result yesterday, 5-0. I thought Inter were an abomination. They embarrassed the Italian league with their performance. They should have just given that spot to Barca if they were going to do that embarrassment. You know? To be fair, Dolph Ziggler did say in an interview a number of years back that even if it wasn't for the concussion, his world title ring was not going to last. He was what I call a pop the crowd champion. Yeah, I read up about that. The thing is, they were looking for any way to prevent him from going up to the very top. They just never seen him that way. He just sold too well for the wrestlers, and it's like you benefit us in a different way. I also think a problem is that Ziggler himself didn't push harder. Feel like, what do you mean? I'm not talking about him pushing in WWE. I think if he left the company and went to ROH in New Japan at the time, it would have worked very well in his favor. Jericho was supposed to win Money in the Bank 2012 and fails cashing. Whoa, that sounds depressing. Was Legacy a flop as a team? Did it even do anything for any of them? Yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good as a faction for Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. I liked their stories, though. Or WWE most of 3 hours of the PG rating. 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. Bro, you guys remember 2 hour Raws? They were so easy to watch. We're going out tonight to get... You hear Nickelback, right? Whatever happens, even if John Laurinaitis comes out, talks some nonsense, Brodus Clay dancing, whatever, it's 2 hours. And you get to see John Cena, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton. Who else? Who else was a great time? Chris Jericho. You saw all of these guys in 2 hours. It was an easy watch. Like, even if stuff was bad, it was an easy watch. Salute WP in chat. Everyone hit that like and subscribe button. Yup. You heard Terrence. Hit that damn like button. What if Brock Lesnar didn't leave in 2004? I think John Cena's push would have been delayed. I still think he would get it, but it would be delayed. And if anything, I think the one that would have been hurt the most by it would be Batista and Randy Orton. SmackDown 3 hours is overkill, damn. Yeah, I'm going to sit on Friday night watching SmackDown for 3 hours. It's tough. I don't mind the 3 hour shows because it gives wrestlers something to do. Yeah, but as a show overall, it's just a slog. You know what I mean? The MJF and her Syndicate storyline is literally Sammy and the Bloodline story in 22-23. Kind of. Raw 2015, one of the worst years, but at the same time, in ring, one of the best years I've ever watched for WWE. Like, bro, the wrestling quality hadn't been that good in a long ass time. Like, I used to watch Raw, not for the storylines or for the matches. Seth Rollins would come out, he'd do some open challenge, he'd mock John Cena, and he'd have a crazy match, bro. Like, it was so good. What's your opinion on Damian Priest? Do you like him as a wrestler? You're kind of iffy on him. He kind of reminds me of Big Dog Roman Reigns, but without the crowd booing him. I like him a bit, not too much. You know, he could be an upper mid-carder, a good role for him. He's always teetering on the whether or not, he's always teetering on the possibility of being a world champion. Sometimes you need those guys in wrestling, you know? JBL would have never been WWE champion. Facts. Yeah. That would never happen if Brock didn't leave. In my opinion, WWE 2014 was a good year. The first time I ever got invested in women's wrestling. That would be 2015 for me. By the way, you guys collect wrestling cards? I'm trying to buy some. They're expensive. You know, like I want to open a pack. They're not available. They're out of stock. And they're expensive. I'm like, bro, I just want a freaking John Cena card. Like a packed John Cena card. In my opinion, Brock and Goldberg would have swapped brands in the 2004 draft if they stayed. Yeah, I think Brock would have went to Raw. Yeah. I didn't watch the Dark Side of the Ring finale. It's about Muhammad Hassan. Check it out later. Raw 2015 was better than 1820? Yeah. Of course, we know Jeff Hardy's going to win Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. But if that didn't happen, who do you think he would have... But if that didn't happen, who would he cashed in on? Randy Orton, bro. Easy. He would have cashed in on Randy Orton. Just, bro, Jeff Hardy had a lot of issues. He at times didn't really know, like, how good the opportunities were. And because of that, WWE just didn't push him as hard as he should have. Which is logical. What's up, Wayne? Welcome to the stream. Because, let's be honest, I heard people talk about Triple H politicking about Jeff Hardy. You got to look at it from a company perspective. you need someone to represent you. You know, the WWE champion, he ain't no make-a-wish. You give him a belt, there's reasons for that. And Jeff Hardy, he just wasn't up to par outside of the ring to justify long title reigns. You know what I mean? I'm glad Jeff didn't win Money in the Bank, made his rise in 08 even better. It was. Thoughts on Authority. Good initially, but boring later on. Like, John Cena and Dolph Ziggler got rid of them. They come back a month later. And that segment was so funny because Seth Rollins wanted to kill Edge, and John Cena's so pissed. He's like, I'll bring back the Authority. He's like, he didn't want to do it, but he had to because he wanted to save Edge, who, by the way, slapped his dad. Like, I would have told him, curb stomp the SOB. Who cares about Edge? Who cares about Edge's neck? He slapped my dad. He made my life a living hell. He threw my title into the sea. Who cares about Edge? What do you think about the Reign of Terror? Annoying. You used to be able to always find WWE training cards at your local Target. Facts. I went to Target the other day. I went to Target, Walmart, another Target. I didn't find any. Apparently, WWE is more popular now. This is what I read up. They're more popular now. And a lot of their cards are valuable. And I just want some, you know, because I got basketball and soccer cards behind me. And it's weird because I don't got wrestling. And I would have a wrestling card on here, you know, like just casual. I don't want signed cards, you know. I just want to open them. We don't got them here. I'll find a way to get them though, because they're overinflated, you know. Like I bought a pack of soccer cards and basketball. They're around $20. The WWE cards, because they're being oversold, they're like $80. Edge has a family though. Yeah, but he slapped my dad, so why should I care about him? He broke his neck, so facts. Thoughts on We Hate Cena t-shirts. Creative and a good way to make money. I can't even get damn card pack thanks to all the damn scalpers. Yeah, bro. I'm not even looking for signatures, you know? Final Boss, Rock, I'm not looking for that. I just want some nice cards just to have them in a collection. EK Flair. I want this card, Loki. I just might have to buy this card. You guys see this John Cena card? Let me show you guys. I just might surrender and get this John Cena card. Like, I'm gonna buy this John Cena card over here. This one. This John Cena card looks good to me. It does. You know, like, look at it. Like, even though his heel run isn't good, I need this card. I'm gonna get this one. You know? Yeah. Alright, where were we? Want the Lola Vice card? She has a card, right? We want Io Sky. We want Rhea Ripley. We want Randy Orton. We want Cody Rhodes. You gotta collect them all. And I don't want to buy them specifically, but I wanna pack them. You get what I mean? Bro's inner child hate for Edge would have allowed for Rollins to murder him. Bro, who cares about Edge, bro? He's scum. But that was a well done segment. Just want to say, come on, John. Come on, John. Come on, John. Bray Wyatt should have ended the streak. They should have built him up better, bro. He just became a side character. Oh, I want to make my mark and beat someone relevant. They bring in Bray Wyatt. Like, that's literally what he was used for. What's the worst Money in the Bank pay-per-view? Off memory, 2017, if I remember. 2017 might be the worst pay-per-view for Money in the Bank. 19 was fun. I remember a lot of people were pissed off at the Brock thing because Ali was going to win and those guys died. Like, bro, Finn Balor and Andrade, they're about to meet God because of that match, right? Then you hear, and then Brock comes out. He wins the briefcase. Thoughts on 3MB? You need factions like that. They were entertaining. They're like the modern day Job Squad. I will say, though, this Cena heel runs ass, yeah. What happened to Rollins' high-pitched voice? Age? 22 wasn't good either. What happened with 22? I was in Spain that day, so I had to watch it at 4 a.m. and then make the video the next day while on the trip. Austin Theory won, yeah. Liv Morgan cashed in, Austin Theory won. That's all I remember. Like, yeah. I was tired as hell that day, bro. But I was like, I have to upload this tomorrow. We have to watch the event. So I watched the event in bed with a phone. I fell asleep multiple times, like, but I stayed awake. Only to see Austin Theory win that briefcase. You should rank every Money in the Bank winner. Was 18 good? I couldn't watch it live. Honestly, I wasn't watching WWE at the time. Alexa Bliss won, and Braun Strowman won the men's briefcase. AJ Styles and Nakamura did have a good match, though. Who remembers when Money in the Bank 2018 was 4 hours? Bro, those shows used to be so long back then. Why 6 should be booked like the Bloodline? Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Apart from Liv cashing in, the event wasn't great in my opinion. I don't know what I said on this on the upload. You can go check it out. I don't even remember my opinion on that. That's why whenever you guys talk to me about some certain events, I don't remember much of them, but I uploaded about them. So I have an opinion from that time period, of course. Mr. Kennedy or LA Knight? LA Knight. I don't care. It might be modern biased, but I'll tell you what. In ring, I didn't really care much for Mr. Kennedy. One great thing he did, which apparently gave him heat, because back in the 2000s, you got heat for just holding your backpack in your hand instead of on your back. The one thing he did, which I loved, by the way, when you used to get struck by The Undertaker, Batista, or whatever, he'd sell it as if he got dizzy and he'd fall on the ropes like this. Like, he used to sell so good when he was in the corner or on the side of the ring. When the Bank last year was carried by the woman, yeah. I watched it, didn't upload on it because I was busy with some other stuff. Do I regret not uploading? Not really, but I had a streak going on, so maybe I should have. That's Money in the Bank. You know, I would go on Twitter, but there's not much, bro. I could show you guys. Kennedy gum chewing also. Bro, he used to chew gum all the time. I can't believe what they did to R-Truth. Bro, they'll do it to everyone. Mr. Kennedy feels like one of the most unfortunate careers ever because the company really wanted to push him, but something just always got in the way. I'm not on steroids. 2 weeks later, who's on steroids? Edge, Umaga, Johnny Nitro, or John Morrison at the time. All of these guys, and the last person on the list, Mr. Kennedy. And it was right on the week when he told Vince, hey, Dad. The week they were going to reveal him as the guy. Cursed. That whole storyline was cursed, bro. Chris Benoit had to do some heinous stuff in between it. Vince had to come out and say it was fake. They had a good thing going with the death story, bro. They really did. The worst part is Braun had like a 15% paralyzed leg, which slowed him down. Yeah, bro, they're cold. The Braun Strowman one, I didn't like it because I remember I wasn't even laughing at this, but Paul Heyman straight up said Braun was crying because he wasn't on the WrestleMania card, and he responded, because you suck. It's like, bro, this guy almost got decapitated. He almost got his leg cut off just to put on good matches, you know? Why was Randy Orton not suspended in 2007? Bro. That was going to be strike 2 and they were going to release him, you know? Because of all the injuries and suspensions they went through, I'm guessing WWE felt they needed to keep at least one of their top guys. That too, of course. Bobby Lashley got injured. Kennedy was busted for that stuff. And Undertaker was out. The only top guys they had was John Cena, Batista, and I'm missing one more guy. Randy Orton. Yeah. There was a point in the summer where it was like that. Then Ray, Triple H, Undertaker, Edge, Chris Jericho, these guys all came back. And I have a fondness, like, John Cena was my favorite wrestler as a kid, but I really have a fondness to that time period where he was away. Well, even the time he returned, but basically from October 07 to WrestleMania 24. I really love that time period. You know, Jeff Hardy's push. Chris Jericho's back. I like that. Remember when Braun Strowman had Triple H shaking in Survivor Series, which led to nothing? Oh, yeah. So this was during the time I wasn't watching a lot, but I checked out Survivor Series, right? And back then, I was so disinterested with the product, and this is very unfortunate to say, I skipped the AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar match, even though if it was any other year, I would have watched it. I just wasn't invested. So I skipped to the main event, right? And I see Triple H being choked out by Braun Strowman, who's mad. It's like, what is this? Are they going to have a WrestleMania match or something? Turns out it was nothing. WWE 2017 was depressing. Oh my God. Well, not 17, 18. But 17 wasn't good. Cena's carrying the company back in 07. Facts. Yup. Ready for Super WrestleMania Saudi? WrestleMania in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Bruh. Super WrestleMania sounds very funny. You know what I mean? Super WrestleMania. As if WrestleMania isn't super already. Well, they're going to have a weekend song for that WrestleMania too? Huh? Cena was carrying the WWE in 2019. He had good vibes back then, bro. That debut of his actually terrified me in some ways, not going to lie. I'm a little too old to be terrified, but it just left me like, huh? So he did his job. The Roman Reigns vs. Baron Corbin feud back in 2017 was terrible. That was actually 2019. See, you got the timeline mixed up. Same thing for me, bro. I remember Dean and Seth, bro. Everyone had hopes for their feud to deliver, and it didn't. But then when the bell rang, they're like, maybe the match is going to be good. The match was boring. Brian and Brock, and Styles and Brock. Yeah, those matches were good. I watched the AJ and Brock one a couple of months afterwards. I liked it, bro. I kind of regret not watching it at the time. Because I used to watch the pay-per-views the next day because I wasn't in America. And I actually regret not watching the AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar match around the time it happened. We're almost going to be 2 nights in Saudi, isn't it? Oh, no, please, bro. Please don't tell me it's going to be, bro. That's the last thing we need. You know? Then they'll do the Royal Rumble, they'll release half the roster afterwards or something like that. John Morrison being on that signature pharmacy scandal was surprising to me because, like, what the fuck does he need to take steroids for? Something small, probably. Maybe it was a scenario where it was something small, but it would look bad on them if they didn't suspend him. I don't know. You make a ranking video of some of the worst pay-per-views you've ever watched. You know what's funny? I only watched... Let's see. In 2018, I only watched the Royal Rumble, Fastlane, WrestleMania, and the Greatest Royal Rumble, which wasn't the Greatest Royal Rumble, by the way. My next pay-per-view I watched after that was Fastlane 2019. That's how uninvested I was in the product. You know? 2 nights in Saudi, Goldberg returns. Goldberg should have his final match at SummerSlam, to be honest. Like, they should just do that at SummerSlam. When did Cena and Brock have that Suplex City match that Brock hit 16 suplexes? SummerSlam 14. Dog food segments, yeah. Only 2019 pay-per-view. Thoughts on Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view? Nonsense. How come wrestlers got heat back then for simple things? Bro. Some tiny things, bro. Something so small they would get heat for, bro. I don't know why. It was so weird. Like, the locker room in the 2000s was strange. Remember how intense the Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar feud was? Like, you had Joe choking out Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, but sadly, Joe didn't win the match at Great Balls of Fire 2017. My issue isn't that he didn't win. It's that he lost to one F5, and they were doing it to save it for Roman Reigns to kick out of 10 gazillion of them at WrestleMania. He bled. He took a beating in that match, and it wasn't even interesting. Speaking of SummerSlam, I can't wait till I get my tickets to SummerSlam 2025 for both nights very soon. Hope you enjoy it, bro. This year, 2025, it's really starting to depress me. Damn. I tapped out of wrestling post 2015, just didn't care, and I don't know jack about anything, not WrestleMania or Roman Reigns. That kind of tells you how WWE did a good job of making Roman Reigns seem like a major name, right? Am I the only one not hyped for the Gunther versus Goldberg match? I'm not hyped for it, but maybe it'll be good. Glad the locker room is different now. But at the same time, you kind of need egos. Not toxic egos, but like motivation. Andrade winning his Money in the Bank qualifier caught me off guard. They want him there for the spots, right? Free Carlito. They actually freed him. This is why no one's safe, bro. What's the craziest CM Punk dirt sheet rumor you read? There's a lot of them, bro. The one he fought Teddy Hart outside of a freaking pancake place or something. What else? Bro, there's a lot of them. I'm actually serious. The one he ripped a script someone wrote for him and said, I want to do my own promos. What happened to Carlito? He got released. It'll be my favorite NFL team's home stadium for the first time since like WrestleMania 29. You make the smallest mistake dropping a penny and you'll get heat for it back then. Bro, back then, everyone used to get heat, bro. Even Triple H, the guy who everyone's scared of, would get heat too. Triple H, I think Undertaker never got heat. I heard Teddy Hart was a terrible person. Yeah, there's been stories about him. The Teddy Hart story was funny to me. CM Punk didn't like him, bro. He hated him. But early ROH was weird, you know, like the days of ROH back then. There was a lot of crazy stories. Jeff Hardy getting booed as he was Willow the Wisp or Willow the Wasp or whatever the hell it is. I forgot. The RF video guy being a pedo. He got caught in a sting once. Mark Feinstein. Is his name? Rob Feinstein. Yeah. The Doghouse rumors. That was another one CM Punk had. Yeah. Didn't Jesse get heat trying to tell Vince about the drugs in the back? Bro, everyone had heat. Jesse Ventura, the union thing. Hulk Hogan's like, that don't work for me, brother. Teddy Hart does have a crazy moveset, bro. He's like a video game wrestler, though. If you ever watched some of his ROH stuff, he used to do some crazy stuff. Him and Jack Evans. Crazy. Does anybody remember SummerSlam 2019 pay-per-view? Because besides The Fiend's debut against Finn Balor and Seth versus Brock, the show is a blur to me. Rob Feinstein, see, our video owner. Bruh, that guy pisses me off, bro. I swear. He pisses me off. Genuinely. Anybody remember Charlotte versus Trish? Yeah. I like SummerSlam 2019. I actually have a fondness for that show, low-key. I wouldn't say it was hated a lot, but it had some good vibes. I do wish SummerSlam either is in LA or New York. I feel like those things match. PSG versus Inter Milan was like Cena versus Brock. Facts. Oh my god, bro. Inter Milan, what are you doing? They embarrassed themselves. They're playing slow. Like, what are you doing? Like, I was watching the match in amazement. They were down 2-0 in the 20th minute. They proceed to do nothing about it. And PSG was wrecking them with academy players at some point. Crazy. John Cena's not terrible, unlike Hulk Hogan. The thing with Hulk Hogan is he had a lot of issues. Even without the whole N-word incident, he did a lot of bad things. Obviously, some of it was to protect his spot, which some people would do. But there's a couple of other things as well that were like OD. Why does Rob Feinstein upset you? Bruh, he got caught in a sting back in 2004, and he's the reason why TNA and ROH didn't do business, and that's why they seceded from each other. Because like TNA and ROH had this like little partnership, if I remember, RF Video, and because of that, they had to separate. He got caught talking about some minor stuff or was gonna do, and he ran away. And it's like, he's still in the wrestling business. Inter Milan should just hit the ref and get DQ'd. Bruh, they should have just walked out and forfeited. They pissed me off, I swear. They really upset me. Because they had no grit, no fight. And Bayern, Barca, Aston Villa, Dortmund, Real Madrid, Arsenal, none of them would have gone down like that yesterday. The teams that were in the quarterfinal, I don't think any of them would have gone down like that. You know what I mean? Hogan ruining TNA. Damn you, Hogan. Yeah, that was like one of the finales You know? That was one of the grand finales for them, you know? They ruined it. Him and Bischoff. The issue with him and Bischoff, and this is a thing a lot of wrestling bookers have, like their problem, they don't know that sometimes time will pass you. Hogan and Bischoff, they had no business being in TNA at the time and changing it. They had the name value, but because time had passed them by, they were better off staying away. I don't know why, but SummerSlam 2016 gave this nostalgia feeling with the show and the theme song of that event. I didn't like SummerSlam 16 that much, but Rollins versus Balor was good. Tragic, although. Sasha and Charlotte might have been good. I don't remember. Dean and Dolph was like a sneeze that never comes out. And the main event was upsetting. I've been watching wrestling since the 2000s. I was going through my channels on a Friday night in the early 2000s, and I saw Dave Bautista doing his entrance. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Bro, Batista was so good. Batista, awesome, bro. Batista and John Cena were my favorites. Cornette doesn't like hardcore wrestling. I like traditional wrestling. Hardcore, I could watch it and enjoy it, but if you ask me about a great singles match versus a great hardcore match, I'm always choosing the singles match, you know? I just like when they go off the ropes. They do the collar and elbow tie-ups. Especially in the older days where the heel would get the babyface in the corner and behind the ref, he'd strike him with a punch because strikes were illegal back in the day. I like a simple wrestling match. Who's worse during the reign of terror, Triple H or Jeff Jarrett? Jeff Jarrett. Thing is, Jeff Jarrett did have some logic behind his reasonings for carrying the title, but he was OD. That's the thing. Inter are also a nearly team. They bottled the league to Napoli as well. I saw that. Nah, bro, I just didn't like that at all. Like, their performance, you don't do that in a European final. I haven't seen someone get smacked like that since Juventus 7 years ago, and even then they put up a fight and had a red card. Angelina loves zombie gimmick in TNA. I actually don't. Didn't Nick Aldis run AJ Styles out of TNA storyline-wise? Yes, he did. What was his name? Magnum or something like? Yeah, he did. They had the ladder match, if I remember correctly. Magnus, bro. I mixed him up with another wrestler. There should be supernatural characters in AEW. They had some earlier, well, technically. I don't got much recently. Julian Alvarez or Lautaro Martinez? Julian Alvarez, bro. Lautaro Martinez does stuff, but then when the lights are on brightest, he just disappears. You know? Plus, Julian Alvarez got a lot of upside for being a youngster. You know? I don't know what's worse, us losing to Tottenham or PSG winning 5-0. Nah. The PSG one's worse. Because you guys lost 1-0 and Garnacho almost scored in the end. Like, I know you guys got a lot of embarrassing issues and stuff, but that final, the PSG and Inter one, nah, that's one that's a stain on the club, honestly. I feel like WWE right now is popular to talk about, where you could go talk about it in public and not get looked at as weird, but WWE's been mid through 2025, and what they did was truth was ass. It's more popular now, yeah. WWE is on fire. Feed. That promo's gonna bite him in the back. I miss back when WWE took false count anywhere matches, literally like when they would go backstage out in the arena and the street and stuff. Yeah. Beer Money, one of the best tag teams in TNA history. Very entertaining. I really love how their tag team partnership ended. Lautaro was at the World Cup was Jack Swagger in the main event. Awful. Facts, bro. Same thing. I still couldn't believe Vince said the N-word and didn't get in trouble. Back then, I remember, back then in the early 2000s, random movies. Like, if you guys ever watched Malibu's Most Wanted, the main character, he's a white guy, he likes being a rapper, he likes some stuff. He randomly said the N-word. And they used to use, like, a lot of scenes in movies where some random white guy would say the N-word. Like, the black people would look at them like, huh? Me in a modern-day K97. Low-key, the Fiend was kind of like him. And you guys know what happened. Knockouts division. Good. Gail Kim and Awesome Kong were going crazy early on, bro. I still need to finish this Gail Kim video I have. Halfway done. We'll see how it goes. Well, by the way, what videos you guys want to ask? You guys got any video ideas? I got some. I don't want to talk about them now because I don't know when I'm gonna do them. We'll see. All right. Bro, the 2000s was wild. You could get away with anything. Now any little thing you say can get you in trouble. It used to be a bit like that earlier. Now, bro, you guys saw Kanye's song. But yeah, 2000s was like the Wild West, you know? I think a lot of things, they used to take risks back then. You know, back in my day. When Batista DVD came out, I Walk Alone, I was in high school and I begged my mom to buy the DVD. Yeah, Batista was cool, bro. Like, I think I got that DVD from the library once. How do you feel about the recent NXT call-ups for the main roster? I don't even feel much, to be honest. You should make a video comparing footballers to wrestlers. It won't give views. But you could think about it and we could think about it and see. Who's Drew McIntyre? Mo Salah? Deadly Game Survivor Series 1998, one of the best one-night story pay-per-view, No Mercy 07. Braun Breaker, Lamine Yamal. Probably, I don't know. You think Triple H should be replaced by HBK, William Regal, or Scott D'Amore? I know that he isn't going to be replaced unless he's fired or he does not want to, but just wondering. I feel like this is the one thing. You guys know how in sports, a coach or a manager, they lose form? You know, say like, for example, the Chiefs start losing a lot. They tend to fire the coach because he never recovers, right? I feel like that happens a lot in wrestling too, where the booker, when they catch a cold streak, it gets harder for them to recover. And I would like to see someone new in that position, but I think it's going to have a bigger effect on the product negatively if Triple H does leave, you know? Because he knows things a lot more than the others. Well, even back in the day, there were some things you still couldn't get away with, like Child's Play 1988 when Chucky said have a date with an 8-year-old. What? It just goes to show that back in the day, it was more about what you meant rather than what you said. Yeah. Also, there's a problem right now. A lot of people don't really know your true intentions on the internet. You know what I mean? And a lot of people could run away with what you say and get 100K likes on a tweet. And there you are. You're labeled as something you said you're not or something. That's why you got to be careful with what you say, honestly. Unless you don't care. Like, if you don't care about what you say, by all means. Wenger in the later years is a prime example of that. Yeah, I think Vince McMahon also, like he had some touches, he had some good touches and ideas at times, but he lost his ways. Like Vince in the Attitude Era was very different to Vince later on. He used to actually think of stuff different, and even if stuff was missed, most of the time he would strike well. You know, Triple H's booking is better than Vince's recent years. Yeah, it's just boring, you know? Because they drag stuff until SummerSlam, WrestleMania. That's my issue. What if CM Punk wins Money in the Bank and turns heel on Cody when Cody beats Cena? That's a possibility. It depends on how they want to go with that story. Like, they could have Cody turn heel later on. We'll see how it goes. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Damn, how long is this stream been? Stream's been weird. I apologize if I feel like I'm out of it. Low-key, I'm not focused today because I've been working on these videos the whole week. That's half the reason why I streamed, but it also kind of has been affecting this stream. I don't know, I feel like something's off with me today. Maybe I do need to rest. That's the thing about it. Long-term storytelling. Yeah, bro. That's the thing about it. Long-term storytelling. LA Knight cashes in on Jey Uso and turns heel. I hope they don't turn him heel. The problem is, they just might do that because They won't know how to book him as a face. Since lost at the end, he hated the around SummerSlam 2016 attire. I loved it. Bro, that attire, the Power Ranger one, was so good. Like, I don't understand why he disliked it. It fit Seth Rollins so good, bro. Oh my god. Thoughts on Ricky Ortiz in ECW 2008? Bro, I used to see Ricky Ortiz. I didn't even used to care, bro, to be honest. You used to show up on SmackDown like in 09. Bro, that was my time to go do something else. Even as a kid. Like, I was young back then. I didn't really care for him. Now, if Jeff Hardy comes out, we are there. We are seated. If it was a major heel like Randy Orton, JBL, CM Punk, we were there. I didn't even realize that Drew and Priest feud was based on Priest taking advantage of CM Punk screwing over Drew. Yeah, that one's easy. MVP losing streak, it ruined him, bro. MVP's losing streak actually hurt him, you know? You're like, why? He never was the same afterwards. I'm coming. No bike, stop, no bike. MVP had some upside. It's just some things didn't work in his favor. Dave Meltzer versus 20 WWE fans. That's the last thing I need. What's up, Harris Basic? Imagine social media existed back in the 80s See, bro, I'm off today. Imagine social media existed back in the 80s without coked and roided up those wrestlers were. Those tweets and footage would have been legendary, as well as many cancellations. Bro, I know for a fact some of those wrestlers in the Bill Watts promotion would be saying the hard R casually. People would be outraged. Like, bro, you guys don't know about those wrestlers. There's been allegations that some wrestlers touched other people. A lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Also, when Jeff Hardy, My Life, My Rules DVD came out, my mom bought me the DVD. He had a lot of those DVDs, huh? Have you watched the MVP podcast? I read about it. He hates Triple H a lot from the bottom of his heart. How come they didn't push Shelton Benjamin? I always talk about his mic skills, bro. And also, he fell into the same issue that MVP did. They gave him the losing streak. You guys remember the segment where Jeff Hardy... You guys remember the segment where they were basically saying that Jeff Hardy's more black than Shelton Benjamin and the coach? Yeah, after that, he was cursed. The gold standard came, it was good, but... The thing about WWE now is that a lot of heels are getting cheered, which is hurting some of the faces, in my opinion. They gotta write better faces. Sort of getting annoyed with the current Cena run thoughts. Facts. Thing is, I just don't really care about it now, which is sad, because it's his final year. And I'm not going to say it ruins his legacy, but it's not a good watch. I'm not saying it's ruining his legacy, because John Cena's had a 20-year career. He had a lot of stuff in his career. We're not going to overlook that just based on 1 year where he's old. You know what I mean? What were some dream matches from TNA and WWE back then you wanted to see? Honestly, and this is going to sound basic, NPC, John Cena versus AJ Styles. That was always the one. I remember AJ Styles was like so hostile towards WWE because he didn't know how they would book him and a lot of other things. So I didn't expect him to come in. When he did come in, though, it was weird. He comes in, he's got his own theme song. They brought him on Miss TV. It was weird. Would you rather bring back the Cruiserweight title or Hardcore title? Neither. Are the Wyatt Six baby faces or tweeners to you? They're not heel, but they're not faces. Logan Paul being part of WWE, he's the whole reason why we have Travis Scott, bro. I'm going to tell you that. You know? Logan Paul comes in, he's missing a lot of things. You know what I mean? And he's not as good as he was when he debuted. Have you seen the promo from the Ultimate Maniacs back in 92? Warrior was on that shit, that pure uncut powder. Bruh. He was lost. He was out of it back then. The Warrior, he was given so many things, bro. One thing I don't like about the Ultimate Warrior, he wasn't appreciative of the spot he had. You know what I mean? It's like a different version of Goldberg in that regard. I think Goldberg actually understood the magnitude of the opportunities he had, unlike the Warrior. This guy no-showed events and stuff. Goldberg wasn't doing that. I hope Logan Paul doesn't become world champion. He just might. Imagine 2 years from now, Logan Paul as the world heavyweight champion going up against KSI, I Show Speed, Mr. Beast, and Kai Cenat. Let's go. That would be the most AI main event, and one that will truly tell us that the business just might be dead. I'm in the thick of it. He's going to come out. He's going to challenge Logan Paul for the belt. I want your title. Then they're going to have the match at SummerSlam. That would be horrible. Thoughts on mid-card Uso being world heavyweight champion and who should dethrone him? I think Seth Rollins should. Thing is with Jey Uso, I don't really like him that much as an in-ring performer, but he's very popular. And he's not just popular like, oh, whatever. He's super popular, bro. It's not just, day one, bro. Everyone's invested in him. They're buying stuff off of him. And there's reasons for that, you know? Just because Logan Paul can do a couple of good moves doesn't make him a great wrestler. Facts. Have you heard of Paige's book? I actually didn't read Paige's book. I heard she released one, though. Cruiserweight Classic, the Cruiserweight Division 205 Live. Cruiserweight Classic is the best version of Cruiserweights that WWE ever had. Fight me on that. I don't care. Cruiserweight Division, the 2000s, it was good in 02. Tajiri coming in was good in 03. But after that, nah. Gregory Helms was entertaining, but he wasn't even fighting the Cruiserweights. You know what I mean? Logan Paul is definitely winning a world title. Triple H loves him. Bro, if he comes impulsive talking about his title reign, bro, it would be cooked. 205 Live had some good, but I wasn't invested in it. Did you like Neville? I thought he was the next star. He was cool as hell and funny. He was cool as hell and yoinked. I liked Adrian Neville. Pac is still good, but Adrian Neville had a lot of upside back in the day. Changing Xavier Woods. I heard about that years later. Have you ever gotten anything wrestling related for any of your birthdays? Let me see. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Yeah, I did. I got this John Cena Great American Bash toy when I was like 4. Yeah, 05. When I was 4. I don't remember my 06 birthday. Oh wait, what did I get in 08? I don't remember 08. Yeah, I had some wrestling related stuff. 09, I got this. Yeah, 09, I got this Triple H and Randy Orton combo toys. A Ted DiBiase and Ted DiBiase Jr. combo. Stuff like that, you know? I know some of you don't like Jay's world champ, but he's come a long way, but I get the in-ring criticism is fair. Nah. I think based on everything else, he deserves the position he's in. You know what I mean? Dude. I got John Cena's rap album for my birthday when I was young, and it's actually pretty good. I don't remember my birthday of 2006, bro. It's... What? I remember 07. 07 was by far the best one, I'd say, because I got an Xbox 360. Xbox 360. I wanted the Wii. My dad didn't get the Wii because they're sold out. So we got something much better. You know, I'm actually glad we got the Xbox. I got SVR 08 the next month. Played it all the time, bro. I don't remember my birthday of 08. I actually do remember my birthday of 08. Yeah, I got SVR 06. I just wanted it, you know. We weren't rich when I was a kid, but the old games used to be fun, you know. Thoughts on Shelton Benjamin Mama storyline? I didn't like the storyline. Yeah. They tried to give him personality, if I had to guess. I don't remember birthday 2010. 11, I got Madden 12. Yeah. That was it for the birthdays. Yeah. Like gifts, because did DX predict they would take over WWE? They low-key did. You know? Unpopular opinion, main roster Sami Zayn will never come close to NXT Sami Zayn. NXT Sami Zayn was different. NXT Sami Zayn, bro, was a massive underdog. The underdog from the underground. He was so good. I'm getting lost. I kind of feel like I'm about to fall asleep, to be honest. You guys have anything to say before the end of the stream? You guys can mention it. I would stream longer, but I'm busy today. I'm working on some other stuff. Ever watched Tough Enough? Yeah, I am. I did. I watched the second season, the third season, the $1 million one, the 2011 one, and of course the 2015 one. I remember the 2011 and 15 ones though, off of memory. I still have my PS2 and getting Here Comes the Pain with it. Here Comes the Pain's right over there. I got a copy of that game, of course. Expensive though. It's like $40. Once you turn 13, the birthday gifts start drying up. Once I turned 10, there was some things, but it was different scenarios. It was different situations. You know? Like, I was in America. I used to buy pirated games, bro. Pirate games were so good on the Xbox. I got WWE 12, 13, 2K14. They were so good, bro. Oh my god. Because in Morocco, the games were $3. They're 30. They're basically the 30 dirhams, as they call them there, right? So I got WWE 12. I played the hell out of that game. Not the time, for some reason, they didn't support Xbox in my city for some reason. They like PlayStation there. The next year, though, they started supporting Xbox and other things. I got WWE 13. And then a month later, 2K14. I got to play 2K14 on release day. GTA 5 was cheap. Bruh. It was so good. I got 2K15 the next year. That was about it. I got Here Comes the Pain for $35 on eBay. I got it for 43 years ago. Thoughts on Hogan Knows Best TV show? I remember my family used to watch it. You know? They just put it on. I don't even think it was just whatever. Like, I remember as a kid when I was like 6 years old, and back in 07, you'd see it on the screen, they'd be like, oh, Hulk Hogan. It's like, Hulk Hogan's a marquee name, bro. You know? When your parents know about Hulk Hogan, you know he's a big name. Love these live streams. Man, big up, yup. I just got 5 books from Grandma past 9 and 20 when I was 14 and up, yup. Think I'm getting a car for my birthday, bro? Hell nah. I went to TNA Bound for Glory 2013 at the San Diego Vegas Arena. I bought the meet and greet package and $20 tickets. Met all the wrestlers and dinner with Chavo Guerrero. That's cool. Yeah, I'm from Zambia. The games are so expensive. It's actually better to buy games abroad. We had to buy the real games later on because PS4. But we were in a much better position by then, you know? So, I didn't play 2K16 or 17. I played 15. What is Marks? What's Marks? You talking about me? I'm a Mark. That last season of Hogan Knows Best was depressing as hell. I actually don't remember it, but are you talking about the car accident and all that stuff? Probably. You know? But yeah, you get a lot of gifts as a kid. You remember them, you know? I got a lot of things as a kid, wrestling related. I had a lot of the toys, a lot of the games. I remember we bought SVR 07 on the PSP, brand new. Like, this is the weird part. You look back to these time periods, and this stuff was new. WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 was a new game. The newest game out there. Why are others called Marks in wrestling? Because, I don't know, because they are. Hogan and his wife were divorcing. Total Divas season 10. Bro, they had a million seasons of those. Yeah, back in the day, I had a lot of the toy belts, the toys themselves. I remember buying SVR 08 Xbox 360 from GameStop. The SmackDown vs. Raw Superstar collection that had the original 06 and 07. I remember my dad told me, and this is one of the big mistakes I had to learn early on. He told me either you buy this game or you get tickets to Raw. I chose the game. Was that a big mistake? Probably, because I didn't get to see John Cena. 2008 John Cena as well. So it might be I want to say a big regret, but it's a bit of a regret. Anybody remember the Edge and Christian show on the WWE Network? I hated it at first, but then it grew on me. You know? Total Divas. I always enjoyed the SVR series way more than 2K. That's most people, honestly. I haven't played WWE 2K25 since 2 months. Just sad. Stuff was cheap and better back then. I feel like everything now expensive and lower quality. Yeah. You got Logan Paul and Mr. Beast promoting stuff, bro. Everything's generic now. Everything's generic. It's not distinctive. Nothing. Hogan's ex-wife is very bitter about our time with him. It's wild. Bro, they're both the villains in that story, bro. Why does Paul London hate Triple H? He's basically he saw a lot of the worst of Triple H. He doesn't like him, bro. That Rene Dupree and Paul London podcast, I watch it from time to time because they got big egos and they're unhinged. Because you guys know people want to return to WWE. These two, they don't care. They'll talk about everything. I miss the WWE Network, man. It's way better than Netflix. Yeah, bro. It is. Facts. Like back then, I'm bored. You go on WWE Network. Nowadays, I don't even watch anything. If I watch something, it's to go to sleep. I can't watch shows now because I just want to like be a success and all that. You know? London's so bitter. Hey, some of the stuff he says is true though. I'm not gonna lie. But it's funny. Because he's unhinged. Everyone hates Triple H, it seems like. Doesn't that tell you something? Triple H. Road to WrestleMania and GM mode. Yeah. They were good, bro. Oh, yeah, I got... After my birthday, 08, I got SVR 09 on the PS2. We had the 360, but I bought it on the PS2. First day, I played the Road to WrestleMania. I had so much fun, bro. Like, SVR 09, it's not that good of a game. It's very bare bones. But when it released in the beginning, I had a lot of fun with it. You know? And if you're a 7-year-old in 2008, it's more than enough. Dean Douglas. Bro, I hate that gimmick. Shane Douglas, on the other hand, different story. Bro, during the pandemic, WWE Network was my go-to. I watched a lot of stuff I missed. Yeah, pandemic was good. Remember the Undertaker Last Ride series? The WWE 24 they used to do? There was a lot of stuff back then. Nowadays, I don't even care if they had released a documentary now. I still think SVR 11 is the GOAT. Fun game, bro. That game's so good. Alright, let me see what my next videos are. Alright, I got a video. It's from 2002 WWE. Next video. It's about a certain run. Other than that, wrestling what-ifs maybe. I would do a Money in the Bank review for another Money in the Bank before this one. But I'm not very interested in it. You know? As for our 07 soundtrack, facts. I'm not very interested in doing a Money in the Bank review before Money in the Bank. Have you heard stories about Click? Of course. They don't like Dean Douglas. WWE 2K20 was underrated. Hell no. I bought that game a year after it came out. I bought it in February 2021, and it was so glitched. I did find some enjoyment in it, but bro, they shouldn't have released the game in the quality they did. I love the soundtrack. I like some of the wrestlers of that time period. You know what I mean? But they missed the boat on it. These days, it's all about podcasts. Even Cody has one now. Yeah. Podcast. Nah, things aren't looking too good right now, bro. I'm not going to lie. Not just in wrestling in general. Everyone wants to be a live streamer. Everyone doesn't care now. Everyone's depressed. It's cooked. Remember Dean Ambrose Stone Cold podcast? Yup. Anybody remember when a fan attacked Randy Orton with a low blow? I remember that. Why would he touch him? He went into the ring and like touched. 2K22 had an elite roster. Facts. 22 was so good. 22 upon release, bro. You couldn't kick me off the game. I was stuck on the screen like that. Damn, was it good. There was a lot of hype. All right. I'll be back with another video in a couple of days. If I do upload today, it's a Randy Orton collection video for the YouTube algorithm. I do those because the YouTube algorithm isn't exactly in the best place. They tend to forget about your videos, you know? You got to keep them in the limelight. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Apologies I didn't go all out with it because I'm not in the right headspace at the moment. I don't even know why. Maybe it's because I've been focused on a lot of videos, but I wanted to stream today because if I didn't stream today, I wasn't going to stream tomorrow and thereafter because I'm occupied, you know? Do you think Alexa Bliss is going to win Money in the Bank, and is Becky Lynch going to win at Money in the Bank, and when is the Chris Canyon video coming out? I'll see about the Chris Canyon one. I want to make a Tajiri video. I thought about it in the morning. We'll see. I'll see how I could do a Canyon video. But I don't think Alexa is going to win. I think if there's going to be an outlier winner, it's going to be Naomi. If it's outlier. Jericho getting hit with the glow stick was funny. Yeah. All right, W3. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video. By the way, Becky is going to win if I had to guess at Money in the Bank. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Again, we didn't go all out. I'm in a weird position at the moment with my mind. But we'll be back with another video in about 2 or 3 days. If I upload today, it's the Randy Orton collection video. So yeah. YouTube is platforming for everyone, bro. Some people are shadow banned. Yeah. There's a weird issue, but you always got to make videos for the algorithm. You know? Take care. Peace. All right. Elias. Okay. Alexa, you want her to stay on SmackDown? All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Again, I'll be back in a couple of days. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I know I did.